Have you ever asked yourself why your energy crashes, your erections aren't as strong, or your legs start feeling heavier as the day wears on? And everyone just says, that's aging? Let me ask you something most men never admit out loud. What if the real problem isn't low testosterone or your heart at all, but simply how well blood is actually moving through your body? So many men over 50 accept that poor circulation is unavoidable. Yet there's one simple, almost completely ignored factor that quietly maintains healthy blood flow as we get older. Today, I'm going to show you what most doctors never even connect. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Cavaler, a urologist with 43 years of experience. Drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from right now. And please hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. As men cross the 50 mark, one of the subtle changes I see over and over in my patients is a slow drop in blood flow, even when they swear they're in decent shape. Biologically, this occurs because blood vessels gradually lose elasticity with age. The inner lining of the arteries, the endothelium, becomes less responsive, so it doesn't dilate as easily when your body needs more blood. That directly affects how oxygen and nutrients reach your muscles, your brain, and, very importantly, your sexual organs. This isn't weakness or personal failure, it's a natural process, but it's not one you're powerless to influence. Emotionally, this is usually where the frustration begins. Men tell me they wake up already tired, they run out of steam faster than before, or their erections just aren't as dependable as they once were. Most assume it's falling testosterone or this is just what 60 feels like. But poor circulation is frequently the hidden piece of the puzzle. When blood flow slows down, everything downstream suffers your stamina, your mental clarity, even your mood. Ignoring these early warning signs doesn't make them disappear. It just lets the problem get worse year after year. From a practical perspective, the very first thing I want you to do is start noticing the quiet signals your body is sending. Cold hands or feet, heaviness in the legs at night, slower recovery after a walk, or weaker morning erections. These are all clues about circulation. One simple daily habit I recommend to every man over 50 is gentle, consistent movement, nothing intense. A 10 or 15-minute walk after meals stimulates blood vessel function and improves insulin sensitivity, both of which directly support better blood flow. Consistency beats intensity every single time. I also want to reassure you, declining blood flow is not a life sentence. It's information. And once you understand what's really happening inside your body, you can make small changes that protect your energy, your sleep, and your sexual health. Because what most men don't realize is that this process doesn't suddenly kick in at 60. It usually starts much earlier, quietly, years before the symptoms finally become impossible to ignore. One of the most overlooked factors affecting circulation in men over 50 is something almost nobody ever mentions: pH balance inside the body. Biologically, your blood has to stay within a very tight pH window to deliver oxygen efficiently. As we age, stress, poor sleep, medications, and processed modern diets slowly nudge that balance in the wrong direction. When that happens, red blood cells release oxygen less effectively, and blood vessels become stiffer and less able to relax. You don't feel it as sharp pain at first. You feel it as fatigue, heavier legs, foggy thinking, and reduced physical response, exactly where blood flow matters most. Emotionally, this is incredibly confusing for many men. You might be eating cleaner, cutting sugar, taking supplements, and yet your energy still isn't what it used to be. I hear men say, "Doc, I'm doing everything right. Why do I still feel off?" That's where pH balance quietly becomes the missing link. When your internal environment drifts even slightly more acidic over the years, your body has to work harder just to function normally. That extra work drains energy and puts extra strain on circulation, especially after age 60. Here's something practical you can start today. Hydration is far more important than most people realize. Even mild dehydration thickens the blood and makes circulation worse, especially overnight. Drink water steadily throughout the day, not just with meals. Also, pay attention to how you feel after heavy, processed meals. Most men feel sluggish not because of the calories, but because those foods temporarily disrupt blood chemistry and blood flow. Choosing simpler, cleaner meals more often makes a real difference you can feel. I want to gently push back on a very common belief. A lot of men think circulation issues are only about the heart or testosterone. In reality, chemistry is just as important as anatomy. When you support healthy pH balance, blood flows more freely and delivers oxygen where it's needed most. And once you see this connection, certain natural compounds, especially one your body already uses every day, start to make a lot more sense. Now let's talk about bicarbonate, because this is where so many men finally have that aha moment. Biologically, bicarbonate is one of your body's primary buffering systems. Its job is to keep blood from becoming too acidic so oxygen can be released properly to the tissues. As we age, that buffering system becomes less efficient, especially with ongoing stress, poor sleep, and declining kidney function. When bicarbonate levels are low or constantly overwhelmed, blood vessels don't relax as easily, and muscles tire faster. Emotionally, this explains why many men suddenly hit the wall earlier than they used to. You might start a walk feeling okay, then all of a sudden your legs feel like lead and your breathing feels shallow. That's not weakness, it's oxygen delivery. I've had men in their 60s convinced they had serious heart problems when really their circulation simply wasn't supported at the chemical level. Understanding this is incredibly liberating. Practically, your body already makes bicarbonate naturally, but lifestyle makes a huge difference. One easy step is to reduce the constant acid load, space out heavy meals, load up on vegetables, and stop late night overeating that stresses circulation while you sleep. Gentle movement also helps regulate bicarbonate by improving how efficiently your muscles use oxygen. Even light resistance training a couple of times a week can help men over 50 feel steadier and more energetic all day. I want to be very clear and responsible here. I'm not talking about extreme remedies or self medicating with baking soda. I'm talking about understanding how your body keeps itself in balance and how daily choices either help or hurt that system. When bicarbonate support improves, men routinely notice better stamina, warmer hands and feet, and much more reliable sexual response. And what's fascinating is how tightly this ties into testosterone, sleep quality, and nighttime blood flow, which is exactly what we need to cover next. One of the biggest myths I hear from men over 50 is that testosterone is the only thing that controls energy, desire, and performance. Biologically, testosterone is important, but it doesn't work alone. Hormones need healthy blood flow to reach the tissues and actually do their job. If circulation is impaired, even normal testosterone levels won't translate into the vitality you expect. Blood vessels have to be flexible and responsive for hormones to signal properly, especially in muscles and sexual tissue. Emotionally, this is where disappointment usually hits hardest. Men come to me upset because their blood tests look perfectly fine, yet they still feel tired, unfocused, and disconnected from their own bodies. Some have tried testosterone therapy and felt almost no difference. That's because hormones are messengers, not the delivery truck. If the delivery system circulation is clogged, the message never gets through clearly. It feels discouraging, but it's actually empowering once you know what's really going on. Practically, supporting circulation naturally amplifies everything testosterone is trying to do. Prioritizing sleep is one of the most underrated pieces. During deep sleep, testosterone is released, and blood vessels repair daily wear and tear. Men over 60 who sleep poorly almost always have both hormonal and circulatory decline. I recommend a consistent wind down routine and avoiding heavy meals late at night that pull blood away from recovery. Gentle evening stretching also improves nighttime circulation and sleep quality. I also want to speak directly to performance anxiety because stress tightens blood vessels and blocks testosterone signaling immediately. Learning to slow your breathing, especially before bed, activates the relaxation pathways that open blood flow. Simple techniques practiced regularly often deliver noticeable results in just weeks. The goal isn't perfection, it's creating the conditions where your body works with you instead of against you. When testosterone and circulation are supported together, men almost always report stronger morning energy, greater confidence, and far more reliable sexual function. And here's something most men never expect. Even if you do everything right during the day, poor sleep and chronic stress at night can silently undo all of it. That's why what happens while you're sleeping matters more than almost anything else. By the time night comes, most men over 60 think their body is finally getting rest. Biologically, nighttime is when circulation either restores itself or slowly breaks down further. In healthy sleep, blood vessels relax, inflammation drops, and tissues get steady oxygen for repair. When sleep is fragmented or shallow, stress hormones stay high, keeping vessels mildly constricted. Over years, this nightly damage reduces circulation efficiency and leaves you waking up already behind. Emotionally, it creates a vicious cycle. You go to bed exhausted, wake up exhausted, and start believing your energy is gone forever. Men tell me they feel worse in the morning, not at night. That's a huge clue that nighttime blood flow isn't being supported. Add chronic stress, and the problem gets even worse. Stress keeps your nervous system on high alert, narrowing vessels and blocking the deep sleep stages where restoration is supposed to happen. Practically, small changes make a big difference. One of the most powerful is limiting evening stimulation. Bright screens, late news, heated conversations all trigger stress responses that carry into sleep. I encourage men over 50 to create a simple 20-minute buffer of dim light and calm breathing before bed. That alone allows blood vessels to start relaxing before you even lie down. Keeping the bedroom slightly cool also naturally supports better circulation during sleep. And please watch your morning routine. Jumping out of bed, skipping water, or slamming caffeine shocks an already stiff system. A glass of water and a few gentle movements before coffee help blood flow wake up smoothly. These aren't dramatic overhauls, but consistency with them is transformative. When sleep and stress are managed together, men typically notice better energy, warmer hands and feet, and steadier mood within weeks. But even with great sleep, many men still struggle because daytime habits quietly undermine circulation, which brings us to what you can safely do right now. At this point, men always ask me the same thing. Doc, what can I actually do without completely upending my life? Biologically, your blood vessels respond best to steady, predictable signals. Regular movement, balanced chemistry, lower stress, not extreme protocols. After 60, the goal isn't to push harder, it's to support what your body already knows how to do. Emotionally, this is where relief usually comes in. You don't need complicated supplements or brutal workouts. Small, doctor-approved habits done every day matter far more. I encourage men over 50 to think in terms of daily circulation support. Move your body every single day, even briefly. Short walks, light stretching, simple resistance moves, all keep blood vessels responsive. Skipping movement for days at a time hurts far more than most realize. Hydration stays foundational. Slightly thicker blood from dehydration strains everything. Sip water all day, especially morning and early afternoon. Pair that with balanced meals that don't overload your system. Heavy late dinners steal blood flow from repair and sleep. Lighter evenings support recovery. Breathing matters too. Slow, deep breaths trigger relaxation pathways that open vessels and improve oxygen delivery. And I have to stress safety. Please don't chase quick fixes or random internet trends promising miracles. Supporting circulation is about patience and rhythm. Men who stay consistent usually feel better energy, sleep, and sexual confidence within weeks. The changes feel subtle at first, but they compound powerfully. The most important message I want you to take away today is this: aging does not mean decline has to be your story. When you properly support circulation, you automatically support testosterone, sleep quality, and total vitality at the same time. And once you feel how beautifully these systems work together, you realize your best years aren't behind you. They're being built by the choices you make starting right now. In closing, I want to reassure you that slowing down is not failure. It's your body asking for support, not surrender. Small, smart choices can bring back energy, confidence, and control, even for men over 60. Circulation, sleep, and daily habits all work together, and it's never too late to feel better. Drop a comment below, share your experience, and let's build a community of men who are taking charge of their health. Your best years are not behind you, they're ahead.